Howdy guys, PhazonFlux here with more Pokemon FireRed, specifically episode 24, take 3. Because after a few recording mishaps and overwriting of some of my recorded files, I'm back. In the last episode, we took down the leader of Team Rocket and the fighting dojo to the left of the gym, and in today's episode, we're going to finish up Saffron City overall. Yo, champ of the making. Sabrina's Pokemon use Psychic Power instead of Brute Force. Fighting Pokemon are especially weak against Psychics. They'll get destroyed before they can even aim a punch. And also, Poison types aren't very good either. Thanks for the information, dude. But this gym is notorious for being really confusing, so I'm just going to show you the quick path real quick. Basically, upon the first room, you take the bottom left warp. Make sure you hug the bottom wall so that none of these gym trainers will see you. Take the next bottom left, take upper right, and finally bottom left again. And this way you can avoid all the trainer battles and just go straight to the gym leader. Now Sabrina is going to be incredibly difficult of a fight for us because we don't have any Pokemon that even so much as resist Psychic type moves. And the best we have offensively is Nasus's Black Glasses boosted Bite. I had a vision of your arrival. I've had psychic power since I was a child. It started when a spoon I carelessly tossed bent. I dislike battling, but if you wish, I will show you my powers. Alright guys, here we go. 5th gym battle against leader Sabrina. This isn't going to be the prettiest fight that we'll have, I can tell you that right now. But, hopefully, we will come out victoriously. So, Sabrina leads with a level 38 Kadabra, which has access to Future Sight, so it can attack from beyond the grave. And it also uses the move Reflect, which will boost her whole team's physical defense for a few turns, which can make it really annoying to take down physically. So if you have a Bug-type Pokemon, which is normally good against Psychic, it'll make those moves slightly less effective. So her next Pokemon is her Mrs. Mime, as it is a female-gendered Mr. Mime. This thing can be very annoying, not necessarily on its own, but what it does for her team. It has the moves Barrier and Calm Mind to boost its special attack, special defense, and physical defense stats, and it has Baton Pass as a move. So all those stat boosts can be transferred over to another one of her Pokemon, specifically her boss Pokemon, which we definitely do not want to happen. However, I'm preparing for worst case scenario. If she does get a Baton Pass off, Baton Pass will also swap the Leech Seed to her next Pokemon. So, in case she decides to go for the Baton Pass, it won't be without a cost. And since Maokai is also weak to every single one of her Pokemon, I figured he's not going to be that useful at any other point in this battle. So, I figured let's just go ahead and send him out as sacrifice fodder, get up the Leech Seed, and call it a day. Maokai did his job. I'm very proud of him landing the Leech Seed on Mrs. Mime here. Now this thing does have a Calm Mind boost, making its Psybeam even more dangerous than it otherwise would be. So Nami may not be able to survive. Alright, she does, but she's confused. Will she be able to land the Bite? Come on, Nami. Not really. And the confusion's going to take her down, which is really bad. Although Nami doesn't really do much for the team in this fight anyways, seeing as how she has very little offensive presence. Until she evolves, she's not going to do too much for our team in general. So, we're going to bring out the big powerhouse himself, Xerath. Since he is the highest level member on the team, I really want to be conservative in using him, because I want the rest of my team members to get some glory in the spotlight, and also to get some experience of themselves. But when things get tough, I gotta whip them out, because I definitely don't want to lose to Sabrina. Alright, her non-psychic type Pokemon is Venomoth, which is a rock, or not a rock, excuse me, it's a bug poison type Pokemon. So I'm very surprised she has it on her team. But I didn't really get to show you what it can do. Basically, it doesn't really do much. It has access to Supersonic to confuse you, but other than that, it's not really a threat. Let's see. Okay, so Corky got a level. That's pretty nice. No, I don't want to learn Slash. Thank you very much for giving me the option game, but yeah, I think I'll pass. But her last Pokemon is definitely her toughest, her Alakazam. I'm very thankful that it doesn't have any boost transferred to it, because if you let that miss his mind, Baton Pass, Barrier, and a Calm Mind to this thing, you can kiss winning goodbye, because it will not die at that point. And as you can see, even an unboosted Psychic from this Alakazam is enough to one-shot Nasus. This thing hits harder than anything in the entire game that we've faced so far. So you're definitely going to be very quick and decisive about taking it out. Thankfully, it wasted its turn by going for Calm Mind, as Corki is a physical attacker, so the special defense wow. The special defense boost isn't going to be as much of a problem when facing her. But Magnitude 5 isn't going to be enough to take her down. She's going to go for Future Sight, wasting her turn again, but as any other gym leader does, she has restorative items. She has 2 Hyper Potions and even a full heal to round out some restoration for her team. So that makes her slightly more annoying to take down. Magnitude 10 is, wow, super powerful, enough to one-shot Alakazam, so thank you very much, Corki. And just like that, Sabrina goes down. Like I said, it wasn't the prettiest gym battle we've ever had, but I'm kind of thankful for that in a way as well, seeing as how we've pretty much swept through every gym leader previously. So upon defeating her, we obtain the Marsh Badge and TM04 Calm Mind. So now we have access to that move as well. Too bad none of my Pokemon will be able to put it to good use, but I will meet you outside of Saffron City and explain what's next on our to-do list. Psychic power, huh? If I had that, I'd make a bundle at the slots. Thank you very much, Gym Guide Guy. But here we go. The last little building that we can show off here in Saffron is the Pokemon Trainer Fan Club. It's not very important at all, but I did feel like showing it off because this one guy in here will mention, all of us gathered here are fans of Pokemon trainers. The way they look in battle, they are the picture of coolness. Perhaps you will be talked about here too, if you keep winning. Well, we're not Charlie Sheen, so we can't be winning all the time. But perhaps if we win something important, like say the Pokemon League, hint hint, wink wink, nudge nudge, then if we come back, maybe those guys will be talking about how awesome we are. So yeah, not really that important, but I definitely felt like showing it off, because it only took a few seconds. But continuing on our way, Saffron City is behind us, and we can make our way back to Celadon, where I need to show off one more thing that you can do here in this town. Because I do apologize, in part 18, when I showed off the city when we first arrived in Celadon, I forgot to show off one very important thing. And that is at the very top of the Celadon department store, where you can buy the drinks from the vending machine. So even though I showed those drinks off themselves, they are more than just cheap versions of restorative items. If you take them to the little girl here at the side, she'll say she's thirsty. And so if you give her one of these 3 drinks, she'll give you a TM for each one. So fresh water will net you TM 16, which is light screen, which is the reflect, but for the special defense side. Giving her a, okay, I didn't mean to click fresh water. Giving her a soda pop will net you TM 20, which is safeguard, which will prevent status afflictions from hitting your team for a few turns. And finally, lemonade will net you reflect, which I already explained in the fight against Sabrina. So I am very sorry that I forgot to show off all that, because it's very important, but yeah. Now we're going to head to the left of Celadon City, and we will continue our journey, because, as I mentioned previously, our next destination is Fuchsia City, which is to the south side of the Kanto region, and the way that we're going to take to get there is to the left of Celadon City. So, we will have a new Pokemon to introduce here on Route 16. The wild Pokemon can be found only by cutting this grass here and going north. So without further ado, here's the Pokemon that you can get here. Alright, here on Route 16 there's actually a lot of the same Pokemon that we've been encountering. At a 30% chance you can encounter both Rattata and Spearow, the same 2 Pokemon that we've encountered on just about every single route up to this point in the game. What's interesting to note is at 5% each, Both Raticate and Fearow, the evolved forms of those two Pokemon, can also be found. The new interesting Pokemon that can be found here, though, is at a 35% chance you get Doduo, also a normal flying type Pokemon. When it's fully evolved into Dodrio, its physical attack stat and its speed are really good. So it's definitely better overall than Fearow or Pidgeot in my opinion. However, what sets it back is the fact that you get it so late in the game. All of the fights in which a flying type Pokemon is particularly useful in, such as the Fighting Dojo in Saffron City, is already behind us. By the time you can get Doduo, it's pretty much too late for it to shine. That's why most people end up using Pidgeot or Fearow, but because I've never used a Doduo in any playthrough of a Pokemon game ever, I figure let's show some love to the little Kiwi Pokemon and go for it. So, Doduo will be the 6th and final member of our team. Say hello to Valor. Alright, now that our discussion of all Pokemon are over, I say let's let Valor get a little bit of screen time, while at the same time showing off a double battle that we don't normally get to see too much of in the main regions of Kanto. Also, I should let you know, I did level Valor up just a tiny bit off screen. I gave her 2 levels, so she's now level 24. I also taught her the move Aerial Ace via TM. That way she has access to a flying type move. Now, normally I wouldn't use Corki's Magnitude in a double battle because it will hit my partner Pokemon, but seeing as how Valor is a flying type Pokemon, Magnitude will miss somehow, and it will deal heavy damage to this team of fire type Pokemon, if not one-shotting them both. Indeed. So it's kind of a shame Valor didn't get to show us what she can do herself, but it is a little bit of free experience for her. And at least we get to see her face in today's episode. But we're not quite done with the episode. We got one more thing to do before we go ahead and end it. And so, continuing left through the little gatehouse there, we come to a solitary house out in the middle of nowhere. Oh dear, we found my secret retreat. Please don't tell anyone I'm here. I'll make it up to you with this. And we receive another hidden move, HMO2 Fly. It is indeed a wonderfully convenient move, and we will teach it to our Kiwi Pokemon, because it totally has wings. Okay, all jokes aside, I will overwrite Pursuit with Fly, because I'm not going to use Fly in battle either, but at the same time I'm never going to use Pursuit. So I think I will go and show off Fly real quick. Basically, if you don't know what it does, it lets us warp to any Pokemon Center that we've been to in the entire game. So we can fly all the way back to Pallet Town, we can fly to in front of Mount Moon, before the Rock Tunnel, basically anywhere. So I'm not actually going to fly, but I will go ahead and end the episode. And in the next episode, we will take out this sleeping obstacle that's barring our path to Fuchsia. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope that you all have a blessed day. See you then.